Young people in the streets of Warsaw at the St. John's Parade. They come from all across Europe, enhancing intercultural dialogue. Until today, more than 1.5 million young people and youth workers have participated in European youth programs, taking an active role in shaping their and Europe's future.
I think I'm European because I have always been interested in different European cultures. I have respect for many different ideas and approaches.
The European youth programs, learning in a non-formal and fun setting. Howell Jones from Great Britain is the founding father of the European youth programs. In 1988, he was working for the European Commission and came up with the idea to develop a new type of involvement for young people.
We developed a number of projects which we called youth initiatives. These were projects where we tried to provide the opportunity for young people to take their own initiatives, to work together, to take the leadership, to assume responsibility.
The European youth programs were initiated to close a gap. For the first time, the target group were youngsters who had already left school. Young people aged 18 to 25 started to travel abroad with the first program called Youth for Europe, to understand different lifestyles, exchange their ideas, and to make friends across Europe.
People from Rotherham will change with all the people from Portugal. Okay? 1, 2, 3, go!
Youth for Europe made Europe visible beyond political institutions. Right after Youth for Europe was created, history went forward. In Berlin, the wall came down. A historic integration of the East and West began. From then on, young Europeans and youth programs found themselves in a much larger Europe. Youth for Europe was not only aimed at school leavers, but also at young people with fewer opportunities to learn new skills. In this exchange program, for instance, youngsters from France travelled to Great Britain for their first time to practice English and meet people from abroad.
Comment ça s'est passé au début? On avait du mal à se communiquer.
Well, in the beginning it was hard to communicate, so we exchanged phrases and chatted and learned things together. It went quite well, really.
The European youth programs enable young Europeans to broaden their horizons, helping to build a more tolerant and better society in Europe and beyond. Young people have the chance to practice active citizenship, constructing huts in Africa, helping to build a more tolerant society in Europe and the world at large. The youth programs also aim to enhance social skills, experiencing teamwork in an international crew on a sailing trip across Europe. Responding to an initiative from the European Parliament and a strong demand from civil society, the European Commission launched, in the mid-90s, the European Voluntary Service for young people. Volunteers work and live abroad. These girls from Great Britain, for instance, spent 6 months in Italy to work with handicapped people. The European Voluntary Service enabled them to experience a true learning service. The volunteers boost their participation in democratic life. So did Dominika Rutkowska. She spent her EVS time as a volunteer in Paris 2 years ago.
It was an international multicultural school of life, really, because I met new people from 10 or even more different European countries. I found friends, I still keep contact with them, and especially I learn more about myself, I learn more about Europe, about the Europeans, and I could perceive how the individual can give to the society. And really, this program showed me that it's a winner-winner game. The individual, on the local, and on the European level.
In 2000, the new youth programme started and continued to involve young people in shaping Europe's future. During this contact-making seminar, for instance, youth workers trained their communication skills. In 2001, a group of international students launched the first multilingual online magazine on European current affairs, cafebabel.com. Café Babel, made by youth for youth, covers everything from art to music to politics, targeting its main readership, young Europeans. The European youth programmes promote young people's involvement in society, in their young style. In Sweden, for instance, this hip-hop project was set up in an effort to fight racism. The artists make known the importance of solidarity and tolerance among young Europeans. It's important to inspire dialogue between policymakers and young people, says Pascal Lejeune, who has been working for the youth programmes since 1995.
C'est un programme.
This programme offers young Europeans the opportunity to really experience what Europe is, while working on a project with other young Europeans. In doing this, of course, they learn about European citizenship, cultural diversity and solidarity. But they also get to experience this while working on a project that develops their social skills. These include self-confidence, the ability to work in a group and to manage a project together, as well as other skills they will use in their professional lives.
Et même des compétences qui seront utiles pour leur vie professionnelle.
All over Europe, we practically see the same sky, and this is something we have in common. Thinking along this line, we sent an application to the Polish National Agency because we wanted to hold observations of the sky locally.
At the Astronomers Club, 40 young people in Poland observe the European sky by day and night. They report back with their findings and observations to a professional astronomy lab. Their volunteer work makes a meaningful contribution to research done by professional scientists.
Sitting in front of the computer, playing games or something, it gets so boring. And when you observe the sky, it's something mysterious. You can discover something.
Since 2007, the newest programme, Youth in Action, has taken all the experiences of the past 20 years of European youth work. At this sports event, for instance, the youngsters play street football in a fair play game. Different nations, different social backgrounds, exercise team spirit and find friends across borders. For 20 years, European youth programmes have been moving young people, getting them involved in shaping their future in Europe. And they will continue doing so, says European Youth Commissioner Jan Figel.
Youth today means our present, and present means also gift. So young people, youth, new generation is a real gift for society, and we should value it, care for it, and prepare the best perspective for young people. So I believe that after 20 years, European Union may be described as more youth-friendly, more youth-oriented. And it's an invitation for young people to take part, to know Europe, to feel like at home, to shape Europe, and also to really feel empowered by the European integration.